Okay, welcome to the channel, by the way. If you look behind me, you can see there's been a few improvements to the YouTube page. Gotta say, big shout out to my producer, Brantendo. Brantendo did this, put all these lights up, looks very nice, as I'm sure you'll agree. So do me a favor, click that subscribe button down below. And by the way, this is just the beginning. We've got more stuff coming. It's gonna blow your mind. We're gonna have people here. We're gonna be interviewing people, etc., etc. So please stay tuned, but make sure you subscribe. Anyway, if you follow Conor McGregor on Twitter, you might have saw last week, he put a tweet out there alluding to me, some people coming to my mum and dad's house, my mum's door, knocking on the door, me jumping over the garden fence and running away to America and abandoning my mother and leaving her at the mercy of these villainous criminals. And while that was a nice attempt at Conor McGregor to try and make me look like a coward, it's total nonsense. Here's what really happened. I moved out to America. My ex-management, we had a fallout. My fight managers, we had a fallout. I moved to America because I needed a team and I was doing training camps out here. I'd lived there for 6 months, and then right when I was fighting Chael Sonnen, I just weighed in and my mum called me to say that my ex-manager and his associate had knocked on their door late at night and given them some paperwork. So of course he was trying to, kind of like a little veiled threat, but I was like, Mum, just ignore them. They're not going to do anything. And that was that. Connor's found out this information. He's trying to use it to discredit me and ultimately, as I say, make me look like a coward. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that up. There you go. Try better next time, please, Connor. But if you really want to know about a time somebody did really try and kill me, I'll take you back to 1997. 1997, I moved out of my mum's house. I'm living in this little flat behind a greengrocer's. At the front of the house, there was a shop, sold, ham, cheese, milk, eggs, fruit and vegetables. And at the back, there was a little flat, little apartment. And that's where I lived. So there was only one way in through the back. The front was a shop. You went through the back door. That's how you got in the apartment. The flat, as we say in England. One night I'd been out. In fact, a few nights we'd been out with my friends in Clitheroe. We went out Thursday night, we went out Friday night. Saturday night, we were still having a few drinks. And I tapped out. I was hungover, I was tired, I was exhausted. I said, lads, that's it, I'm done. I'm going home. So I walked home, and I'm very tired and very hungover, as I say. I think I was 18 years old at the time, 1997. So I walk in into my flat, I open the fridge, there's one little measly can of beer at the back, I grab that, I crack that, I lie on the couch, and I'm watching some crappy black and white movie on the TV, just as I fall asleep. Anyway, I've kind of got one eye open, I've got the beer in my hand, looking like a real loser, and I'm just about to fall asleep, and as I'm watching, I hear like a real faint knock at the door. And I think, did I just hear a knock at the door? And I'm waiting to see if there's another knock. And I think, I must be hearing things. So I carry on watching the movie. And then after a couple of minutes again, just a few knocks, but very quiet. And I'm like, hold on a minute, what the hell? So I mute the TV. And I'm thinking, is there somebody there or not? So I sit there and I wait, and I wait. And I'm about to press play on the TV because I think I'm losing my mind. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Knock at the door again. And then that really got me concerned because I'm thinking, hold on a minute. If somebody really wanted me, if they wanted my attention, they were knocking on my door, they'd be like, mate, come on, open the door, wake up, or whatever it was. They wouldn't be standing there and intermittently every few minutes, very gently standing there in the pitch black, just gently knocking and then waiting 3 or 4 minutes in between knocks. That's just bizarre, right? There's something clearly off with that scenario. So I gently get up and I tiptoe. From the room where the TV was, there's a door, a glass door. I open that door, I go into the kitchen. And the kitchen's there, there's a little door. And I creep up to the door as softly and as quietly as I can. And they say the door's there. I'm right up against it. And I'm thinking, am I losing my mind here? Am I paranoid? What is going on? And then all of a sudden, on the door again. So I'm like, whoa. And I'm getting chills on my spine just talking about this. But there's knocks on the door. And so I go, who is it? And a muffled voice says, John. I'm like, John? John who? And they go, John. As if to say, it's John. So I think, well, it's John. So I open the door. CS gas in the face. Here in the States, I think you call it mace, CS gas, whatever you want to call it. I get sprayed in the face with some stuff that stung the hell out of my face. I didn't know what was going on. So I reel back like this. I'm going, like that. And my eyes are stinging like crazy. And I'm rubbing my eyes, and I open my eyes and I look, and there's a guy standing there in my kitchen, because I'd fallen back a bit. He's in my kitchen, he's got black boots, black cargo pants, a black bomber jacket, and what I can only describe as like a black Ku Klux Klan hood over his head. There's 2 circles for the eyes, there's 1 circle for his mouth, and he's standing there holding a petrol canister, gasoline canister, and just with gritted teeth and just throwing petrol, gasoline all over the kitchen and all over me. And I see this, and obviously I'm 18 years old, right? It doesn't matter how old you are, that's terrifying as it is. And I see that and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And I'm terrified. And I'm screaming, who are you? What do you want? What do you want? And this guy just doesn't say anything. And he just continues with the gritted teeth, just throwing the petrol everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Now looking back, right next to me in the kitchen, there's a knife block with a bunch of huge knives and stuff. I could have just pulled out one of those knives, maybe chased him off, whatever. But I was in shock. I had CS gas sprayed in my face and I wasn't thinking clearly, you know? So I was 18 years old. I was absolutely terrified. This guy's doing that and I'm like, oh my God. So I think to myself, call the police. So from where I am, I go from the kitchen back into the front room where the TV is, and there's like a little counter and I've got a phone on there, right? And I go in there and I pick up the phone and I dial 999. And he's looking at me and he stops swinging the petrol around and he's just watching me, intently staring at me. And I get on the phone and I go, hello, hello, hello. I said, please, 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 someone's here at my house, they're trying to kill me, they're trying to kill me. And the cop's like, calm down, calm down. Do you want fire, ambulance or police? I'm like, oh my God, never mind that. 88 borders, send someone round here right now. And he's just standing there watching me very intently. And anyway, I think I'm getting nowhere with this cop. There's a guy over there that's clearly about to try and kill me. And I'm going around in circles with this woman that's telling me to calm down. I'm like, I don't know if you've ever been in a life-threatening situation, love, but it's hard to calm down in those situations. So anyway, I think I'm getting nowhere here. So I put the phone down and I pick it up and I call up my ex-girlfriend, this girl I was seeing at the time. And I call her up and I say, hey, you've got to send the cops around here because I think someone's here, they're trying to kill me and there's petrol and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, when I'm having this conversation, he drops the petrol canister and he kind of looks at me a bit weird. And he pulls his jacket to one side and pulls out a lump hammer. If you don't know what a lump hammer is, it's a small hammer with a big, massive, fat metal head. And he pulls out the lump hammer and he just comes storming towards me like that. And I'm like, oh my God. So I've got the phone in one hand and I shut the door here, right? And the old door, this flat, the furnishings were all like from the 70s. You know, it was a dump, it was. But the door was just a wooden frame with a huge big sheet of glass, as I say, from the 70s. Wouldn't be safe now, but that's what the door was. So I've got the phone in one hand and I shut the door and he comes right up to the glass and he puts his face right up to the glass and I'm here on the other side of the glass holding the door and he's right there and he gets the hammer and he's going ding, 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 ding on the glass. And I'm there, and there's a pane of glass between our two faces. I'm holding the door, he's got a hammer, he's tapping, and I'm like, oh my God, right? Who could this be? And like, it was like, do you know, like on The Matrix or something, I'm like whittling down who it could be, process of elimination. And I go through all these names, and I just go, Roy? Is that you, Roy? And as I say that, the guy, whoever it was, takes a step back. So in my mind, I think it's this person that you don't know, but I know, called Roy. And I go, it's Roy, because we'd had a little run-in recently and, whatever. So I think it's Roy, and he's come back to get revenge or whatever. So that gives me a ton of confidence. So I open the door, and I go at him, and he swings the lump hammer, and I move back, and I just feel the wind of the lump hammer go past my face. Anyway, he turns around, runs, my ironing board was there, he throws my ironing board at me, I knock that out of the way, and I'm chasing after him. Now I've only got on a pair of shorts, no shoes, and as he runs out the garden, the next door neighbours, they must have had like a dinner party, and they're saying goodbye and they're doing the hugs as they're getting in the car, and he barges into them, knocks them flying. I'm chasing after them, going, oh my God, sorry guys, I'm apologising to the neighbours. Anyway, he leaves me for dust, I've got no shoes on, he gets away. I come back to the house, the cops show up, I'm terrified. Anyway, there's a police investigation. And the freaky part about all of this was, as I said, I used to do some DJing, and upstairs is where the turntables was. What the police found was that earlier in the day, somebody this guy, has climbed through the bedroom windows, okay, because they found like glove prints. They climbed through the bedroom windows, and then when they were downstairs, when I was on the phone, right, where the counter where the phone was, there was a wire that ran up the wall. And this person that climbed through the door had chopped that wire. So this person that came with the petrol, he'd been in the house earlier that day, chopped that, thinking that he was disconnecting the phone. But what he actually did was disconnect the doorbell. That's why he was having to knock in the middle of the night. So anyway, there you go. Just thought I'd share that. That's the night someone actually did try and come and kill me. And not this time, not these losers that used to manage me. But anyway, there you go. Little story time with Michael Bisping. Don't judge me. Everything I told you there happened a very, very long time ago. But still, if you liked that, make sure, do me a favour, click the subscribe button down below. And thanks for watching.